So I'm back to trying to make sure I've gotten all the side tasks and the side missions to S ranked. Cyborg Ninja. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm doing this with one of my side characters for a trophy.
The area ahead is under total Soviet control. Miller's been captive for 10 days. Not much time left.
Weather will clear shortly.
Storm's passing.
Getting used to it? After 9 years on ice, solo infiltration of the Soviet main ground forces. Should be the perfect one. Kazuhira Miller is being held in Dawandehar to the north. Check its location now. Take out your iDroid. You see Wandy on the map? That's where they're keeping Miller. Only problem is, we don't know his exact location. Finding it is your first priority. Go ahead and close the iDroid. Got your binoculars? Or should I say, your int scope? See the village? Straight ahead? All right, that's the village. If you see something through the binoculars and you need more information, just give me a call. I'll tell you anything I can about it. That's Violo Village, the Violo Calais. The villagers fled the war and evacuated a while back. Since then, it's become a base for the Soviets' 40th Army. A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dewan-Dehar. You may be able to pick up the trail there. It's worth a shot. Put a marker on it so you don't lose track of where it is. Good. Now you won't have to worry about getting lost along the way.
You can't have much left in him. I give him 3 days, tops. If we fail, and he dies, we lose our chance of revenge. But we need more intel. If you just go charging into Dewan-Dehar, you'll be putting both your lives at risk. See what you can find out first. The Soviets have other outposts, not just the one you saw. Afghanistan is a big place. I expect you'll become quite familiar with those binoculars as you plan your next move. How and where you make it, well, that's up to you. From here on out, you're on your own. You're a legend in the eyes of those who live on the battlefield. That's why you have to handle this mission yourself. Put those 9 years behind you, and return as Big Boss. That's how Koss would want it. I'll be sending additional intel by radio. Stay sharp. Not one of Miller's bodyguards survived. And they were good. All we found on the scene were their corpses and knees. You'll be missing them. And you're his only hope of getting them back. Now go! Let the legend come back to life.
There's a diamond up here. They found that out from doing it the first time.
Even the sheerest cliffs are climbable if there are cracks you can use as handholds. You might even find some unexpected routes that way. Keep an eye out for cracks on your travels. That's a rough diamond. Good find. It'll fetch a high price.
There's this one right there that just lit up. It looks like I don't have to do them again if I've done them the first time, but still. Complete without being discovered by Skulls. Extract commander from the barracks. Extract your transport driver.
Why don't you do a little more practice in those ruins? Shooting, taking cover, climbing obstacles. See to it that 9-year gap doesn't slow you down.
First place I'll run into is 23. Yeah, it's an outpost.
it, there's a Soviet guard post. There are bound to be guards. Take a look with your binoculars. Put the enemy in the center of your field of view.
One up front, one on this side right here, and I believe there should be a third one.
That's a type of medicinal plant. Bring it back to base. It's sure to be useful sometime. Sight, sound, keep all your enemy senses in mind. When you're near an enemy, stay low and move slowly.
Talk. Where are your friends?
Don't leave bodies out in the open. Find some place to drop them out of sight. All right, we'll bring him out.
This wouldn't be available the first time you play through. You don't get the Volta device until the next mission. So if you'd wanted to extract the 2 people you need to extract for the side missions, then it's kind of hard to do that without knowing you need to extract them the first time you play through. You'd have to call in a helicopter.
Speak. Where are your friends?
Plus at this point in the game you can't translate the Russian either. The first time through at least.
Those materials are already processed. They should come in handy sooner or later. Why not start gathering them? Planning to walk the whole wilderness on foot? Use your horse.
I'm not doing it right. There we go. I haven't used D-Horse in a while.
You're almost at the enemy outpost, Vialo Village. The village is crawling with enemy soldiers. Don't just go waltzing in. Start with some recon. Is there anywhere that overlooks the village? How about it? Can you see the village from there? Use the binoculars to recon the place. Look at where the enemies are stationed. Look at their gear. Take it all in. There should be a command post somewhere. See any buildings with tighter security? If there are clues to Miller's whereabouts, I'll bet you can find them in there.
The first time you play through, you also don't have to worry about these dolls that they set up. But they're easy to spot. I mean, they look fake. Some of them move back and forth like this, but even those are easy to
A
spot.
parabolic antenna. There could be intel files of some kind in there.
And the flashing that you saw at the beginning of this is the diamond that's up here on top of the roof. It's right about here. And there's the truck. I heard it at least. It might have just left this village. That's why I heard it only for a brief moment. Anyway, the truck travels back and forth along this road. Usually the path is through this, the pathway that this marker's going. But such things can alter during main missions. The good thing is when they do something like that, that means their hands are occupied and they're pretty much nailed down. Not only that, but if you're on the other end of it, you'd know exactly where he's looking.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
It's a good idea to take these, but only after you've dealt with the soldiers that are in the area, and also have a good handle on any patrollers. Patrollers being, sometimes there are 2 to 3 sets of patrollers that walk around the area, and if they notice that something's missing, they'll send up an alert. They can be distinguished by the fact that they have larger backpacks on. And those backpacks looks like they have antenna on them. Let's place this one in the back here. One thing to watch out in this case, but it's not in the first time you play through, are those landmines. As you play through, they end up placing landmines on key areas. But it's easy to see them if you use night vision goggles. And I'll show that once I get back from hiding this one. And I'm not extracting this guy because his stats are so bad. Early in the game you might want to extract them, if you can. Simply to get up your numbers. Since even somebody with bad stats is better than nothing sometimes. Except for one thing. Troublemakers. I found that they're not worth the effort. Okay, this is going to switch to night vision goggles. And you can see how they stand out. And this is simply because it's an object. And the object has a different temperature and different way of reflecting light than the objects around it. But it's one simple way to easily spot those mines. And sometimes they can be a little bit harder to spot by being in tall grass. There's one danger in this as well, but you can see it at the bottom. You can see the platform at the bottom, and you can see it also in how they move, and that is looking at the difference between a balloon character, or these blow-up characters, and actual soldiers. With the balloon characters, you notice how their arms are sort of melded in the body because they don't really have appendages. But with these soldiers, you can clearly distinguish their arms. So that is another one way that you can quickly distinguish if you have difficulties distinguishing the difference between the blow-up characters and others. One up ahead has a submachine gun, short range, and a shield. One of the most useful items I've found is this magazine. It is perfect for getting soldiers' attention.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
Another thing to keep in mind, if you're going to extract, use distance and cover. So in other words, if they hear it, but they don't actually see you extracting, then they'll investigate. And sometimes they will, sometimes they won't call in an alert. If they see it but don't hear it, they'll call
Got
an
him.
alert.
Anyone else?
If they see it at all, regardless. But sometimes they won't call it in if they hear it. And you can also use that to pull in a soldier when they investigate the noise that they just heard. No. That's kind of interesting. He still had the knock ability, which is useful. One thing I gotta keep in mind is that a truck does come through this area. Usually. I'm trying to remember if it does in the first mission or not.
Talk. Where are your friends?
All right, we'll bring him out.
One of the things I like to also do is mark things as you go in, since if you mark it, then sometimes they'll give you new information, whereas if you just walk right past it, they might tell you, oh, there's a mortar back there, and you might already know about it. Two on the road, one over here, looking almost where I am. Okay, that looks like that's two of the patrollers. I don't hear an engine. Sort of overlapping circles, yes, those are two patrollers. You have to be careful with those.
Это КП, понял. Будь осторожен. Конец связи.
Talk. Where are the others?
Got him. Anyone else?
Ended up not marking one of them, it seems. But I should be able to get a good visual on them. Okay, the patroller is already moving back. Means that the one across here might start moving as well. Unless I just mistook him. No, I did. Okay, those are the two patrollers. And those are the radios on their backpacks. And there's an unknown on this side. Right here somewhere. Looks like it's about where the power control is. The generator. If you lose track of them, you can switch to the int scope and it'll show their shadow. If you know their location. It looks like there's a change of pattern. That was a door. Opening and closing. Looks like he's going to a hammock.
Don't.
Я не хочу умирать!
Speak. Where are your friends?
There's a truck. Patrollers are a good ways away. So I'm going to set up a mine here. And here, just in case. And that will take out the truck when it comes through. I just have to keep an eye on the patrollers and make sure they don't come up on it. If I don't handle them before then. Red circle means somebody's in the truck, so they're getting ready to move again. Just one person in the truck. The EMP mine will take out the driver and the truck. EMN mine at least. EMP really wouldn't take out the driver, but this one takes out both. Oh yeah, the driver is one of those things, so even if he has bad stats, still have to distract him.
Alright, we'll bring him out.
Ты слышал истории о человеке с одним глазом?
Ага. Что он много положил наших ребят. Он душман?
Нет. Но я слышал, что его прислали американские империалисты в поддержку душмана. Кто-то из выживших рассказывал, что у него на голове рог, что он сражается как одержимый демоном.
Богатый мужик? Да он, небось, запаниковал и съел с катушек.
Может быть.
Speak. Where are the other ones? Speak. Where are your friends?
Got him. Anyone else?
And this was the diamond that was flashing earlier that you could see when you were marking this place.
Is that? So you picked up an intel file. Now we know where Miller is. I'm marking it on your iDroid.
sometimes these two patrols and other patrols can get separated, which can make for a tense situation. I'm not exactly sure why that happens, but sometimes an AI can get hooked up on something for whatever reason. And it could be simple. Must have picked it up at another time. Okay, it looks like they're headed back in this direction. So I'm going to head up and take out 18. And from there I'll head to 15, take out the barracks. Get the commander of the barracks, which is one of the side tasks I need to do.
Anytime you need advice, just give me a call.
This one's starting to move again. He's going to... Oh, it's going to be a headache. They're still completing their pattern. So this one is going to go to the barracks here, or this village here, and then they'll start moving back.
It's an enemy guard post. Watch yourself.
Might be an instance where it's better to actually bypass this one, but I definitely need to take out that patroller, because he'll go to the village and there is a good chance he might raise an alarm when he notices that there's nobody there. I've seen him do that twice.
Hands
Я не хочу умирать!
up. Talk. Where are the others?
All right, we'll bring him out.
There's the other one. Seems to pause every few steps. Okay, he's going at a good clip now. He should stop there and then turn around and start walking back. Okay, he's moving a lot faster now. Now I think that is because the AI is attempting to catch up to where the other one is. Or should be. So now I need to wait till this one gets a little bit closer. Okay, going to temporarily end the stream and I'll bring it back up again, and this is simply to keep the streams manageable.